Episode 7 of Married at First Sight. Our couples finally move in together. They start to get a dose of what real life together is going to be like. They went and saw each other's houses tonight, and we had some, I would say, pretty major issues arise in some of our couples. So without further ado, let's jump into the first couple I would like to talk about tonight, and that is Bao and Johnny. Wow, what a roller coaster this relationship has been. Like, when we started this season, I didn't really view them as a potential to be one of our most talk about couples, but here we are approaching probably about the halfway point of the season, and when they're on screen, I'm paying attention. Some of the other couples I check out a little bit, but Johnny and Bao, with how much has been going on there, I'm definitely glued to the screen when they come on. Started right off the bat with something I most definitely did not like, and that was Johnny recording Bao snoring on the airplane. It looked like he thought it was something funny as well. And last week or the week before, whenever we had, Bao open up about the snoring being one of her insecurities, that something that she's embarrassed about. And, I thought that would have been enough for Johnny to kind of drop it. And then we get a clip of him recording her snoring on the airplane and laughing about it. Really, really rubbed me the wrong way. He's kind of still making fun of one of her insecurities, and just makes me not like Johnny as much as I did at the start of this season. And we finally see them move in together, and apparently Johnny decides, at least for a moment, that showering before bed was going to be the issue that he was going to kill the relationship over. This leads to him deciding that he's going to move out. And it was like in the show, we saw this clip that was like Johnny being like, hey, I want to make sure I don't blindside Bao. I want to make sure that, we're open about everything, blah, blah, blah. And then cut over to them having dinner, and Johnny immediately blindsiding Bao and being like, hey, I think I might go spend a couple days away. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sleep in a different room. You don't have to run away for 24 hours. Go sleep in a different room. Go for a walk. Just go for a couple hours, recharge. If that's what you really need, don't just be like, yeah, later, see you in a few days. And like Bao has no clue. And it's starting to almost feel like she's kind of the hostage in this relationship that Johnny is totally controlling. He did say he was going to spend days away, but it was only one day. Still, at this point, felt a little ridiculous considering what the process is. That might have been what Johnny needed, but definitely just another red flag to add to the growing list of Johnny red flags that we are seeing. Then we jump over to the Pastor Cal meeting, where Johnny expresses to Bao that basically he's not attracted to her because she does childish things, and they kind of showed us a few clips, and they seemed like pretty damn normal things to me. It's not like Bao is talking in baby talk to Johnny or anything like that. She's being silly with the lightsabers, which, Johnny, you got 2 lightsabers. Like, what do you think people are going to do? If I go into somebody's house and they have 2 lightsabers sitting there, I'm going to make a joke about having a fight with those lightsabers. And if they're receptive, I'm going to have a fight with those lightsabers. To me, that's just pretty normal. Johnny views her laugh, which is just Bao's laugh, as childish. That's something that she's not just going to change. She's not going to just wake up in the morning and all of a sudden she just laughs totally different. Like, ha, 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 ha. No, that's not going to happen. She's still going to have the same laugh. Somebody looking up to you, cute, and wanting a kiss, that's not childish. That's just very normal flirtatious behavior. Johnny's making this seem like a huge issue, a huge problem, and it is totally fabricated by him. As each week goes by, I'm just starting to like Johnny less and less. I've said this last week. I really thought Bao was going to be the issue in this relationship, and it is turning out that is 100% Johnny. All right, enough about them. Let's jump over to Michaela and Zack. This has just been a weird journey for these two. They started off really strong, hit the honeymoon. Zack got COVID, they're split up, and now we are episode 7, and really we're seeing like the first full on interactions between these two, and it was not great. There was a fight. There was a pretty significant fight. What happened was Zack didn't sleep in the bed, which to me was weird. He had a reason. He was trying to get his dog to sleep and he fell asleep and he just slept the whole night. Then he woke up in the morning. He left. Once again, he had a reason for it, a little bit weird. And then Michaela wakes up, sees he's gone, smashes something on the table, packs up her stuff, and leaves. And I'm thinking like, okay, I didn't like Zack's behavior. It seemed a little weird, but that reaction from Michaela was way too much. Way too much. And this whole, like them sitting there having their argument right before Pastor Cal came in, and then their conversation during Pastor Cal made me think back to when Michaela first found out that Zack got COVID, and her reaction was of anger. It's showing me that she's got a temper, that she blows up a little bit, and that's not really a quality that you really want in a partner. And I don't know at this point if she's going to be able to rein that in, or if Zack's going to be able to learn enough about her to just not have that happening. They did dig into the issues, and it coming back to Michaela losing her father, losing her protector, and in that moment when she got up and realized Zack was gone, that she was abandoned, that there was a sense of abandonment, which is, totally valid, but the way that she reacted to the situation was not good. Why wasn't there, it's not just Zack's responsibility. Like, if my wife wants to know where I am or what I'm doing, she'll phone or text me. That's pretty standard. And normally I will get back to that text right away. But at no point was there any mention that Michaela reached out to Zack. It was just the expectation that Zack should have reached out to her. And I really didn't like that. And it really does not bode well for this couple. We've already seen the season-long preview. And I believe that there's still a very, very significant blow up by Michaela that we've yet to see. And I really just makes me question if this couple is going to make it. All right, let's jump over to our third couple of the week. And I would like to talk about Mirla and Gil. This has to probably be like everybody's pretty much least favorite couple of the season. But as the weeks pass, they're just slowly starting to grow on me. As much as I want to come on here and just bash Mirla and everything about her, we're starting to kind of see a little bit more of who she is and just how she operates. The conversation about intimacy was very interesting for me, and just how intimate she views kissing. For Gil, he kind of is just like, yeah, whatever, it's a kiss. And for her, that's a very intimate act. And that is the reason why she doesn't want to just share a kiss with her husband immediately. Like, yes, I do think it's weird that they haven't at least had a kiss by now, but now, like, seeing them together with Pastor Cal and them being touchy-feely all over each other, it's like they just need to connect those dots, but she's just not ready for that. And I'm getting to a point where I totally accept that. And I've said this before, but especially in this situation, you have to move at the pace of the slower person. It can't be forced by the person who wants to go faster. Now, it could hit a point where that becomes an issue, the speed of their intimacy. But for right now, I think it's okay, and I think that things will still grow there for Mirla and Gil. One little lighter note that kind of gave me a chuckle with this couple was Gil carrying Mirla across the threshold of their apartment, and basically him saying like, yeah, I'm going to do that every time we move somewhere. And then cutting to Mirla, and I'm before she even talks, like, already know that she didn't like it. She didn't want any part of it, but she tolerated it, and I did appreciate that. One other thing I want to talk about is, in the future, if you're matchmaking people, try not to match dog people with people who don't like dogs. It's just an extra level of friction that is not needed. This is already a complicated enough endeavor that you don't need a hang up like that stepping on and getting in the way of the relationship. All right, let's jump over to Rachel and Jose. Really seeing more of Jose's life and his home. It's becoming more clear that he just wants to insert a willing person into his life. He doesn't really want to change. He doesn't want to alter his lifestyle. He wants to keep everything smooth sailing, everything just going on as it is, and just have another person there to share it with. And pretty clear that Rachel isn't totally 100% down with that just yet. I still like this couple way, way, way more than I expected, but the financial things and the lifestyle things are the two road bumps for these two. And some of it I just think is getting a little silly. Like, they both are fully functioning adults. Jose can afford and manage his lifestyle. Rachel can afford and manage her lifestyle. Maybe there's a bit of debt there. One of the things that we saw earlier was I believe she said she used a credit card to go on a trip, which probably is something Jose would never do. But when you combine those two together, you can have both worlds. Like if Rachel moves in with Jose and lives in his house, his costs don't skyrocket astronomically. If Rachel drops her place she rents, moves in with Jose, and lets him, house and feed her costs do drop dramatically. So I don't know if anybody's picked up on where I'm going here, but Jose can still maintain that lifestyle with Rachel inside of it. Maybe Rachel has to contribute a little bit. And you know what Rachel can do with all of her extra money? She can use that to do nice things for them. There's a compromise here. There's a simple compromise here. Once you combine their two lives, there will be enough life or enough funds and enough finances for them to satisfy both of their needs. Jose can still build for the future, still plan, still meticulously budget everything, and Rachel can still plan that little bit of excitement in their life. And I think once they both realize that, that will be two major hurdles, the lifestyle and the finances, that they will be able to overcome. All right, our last couple, they're going to be the last couple every week. We all know it. It's Brett and Ryan. You know, the most exciting and interesting thing about these two that we learned today was that they have dogs, and the dogs are more exciting than they are. You know, that's just how it is. This is the couple that's just going to fade into the background. You know, their biggest issue was Ryan had a deer head in his bedroom that Brett didn't like. They've got some different lifestyle things, but really this couple fades so far into the background behind our other four couples. Like they are already just becoming an afterthought. I am predicting at this point that they're going to stay together at the end of this season, and they're going to be happy and boring together for many years to come. All right, everybody, that is where I'm going to wrap things up this week. I'm realizing now I totally missed talking about Mirla and Gil and their finances, but that's, I'm sure, something that we can touch on in each and every week from here to the finale. So as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we'll see you later.